Welcome, brothers, it's Gideon. Before we start, I just want to thank and welcome the new subscribers. The channel is growing faster than what I expected after my return from the work. So, in this, I thank you all. I'm liking the new microphone setup, so hopefully that can help with some of the sound quality until I can find some solid recording software. Speaking of which, if you happen to know of any good options that don't have insane price tags, let me know in the comments below. Now, with that out of the way, let's begin. Let me make this crystal clear. Nobody gives a single damn about how much you can bench press, how many tools you've got in your truck, or how big the truck is, plus the lift kit, or how many hours you're putting into your workplace, if you act like a socially awkward gremlin that crawled out of his mom's basement. Today, we're talking about one of the real cheat codes in life, social skills, and why so many dudes out there are failing harder than a discount cracked ladder on a windy day. Here's the ugly, unfiltered truth most don't just want to hear. A lot of you think that if you just work hard, keep your head down, and let your actions speak for themselves, and that life is just going to magically reward you. Man, this ain't a Pixar movie. There's no magical blue-collar, white-collar, fairy fucking godmother flying down to hand you promotions and women just because you worked really hard today. Real life is run by people who know how to talk, how to connect, and how to sell themselves without sounding like they swallowed a textbook or even a dictionary or thesaurus. I see it on the job sites all the time. They always got that one guy. He's doing half the work you do, moves slower than dial-up internet, but he's laughing with the foreman and the boss man, shaking hands, telling funny stories. And guess who gets offered the better position or better offer and pay? Not you, Hercules. You can be the hardest worker alive, but if you communicate like a damp cardboard box, you're not climbing anywhere. You're just sliding in place wondering why it ain't happening for you. And dating? Oh boy, I've watched guys just ripped, toned, even with a six-pack, a great haircut, solid dressing style. But as soon as they speak, it's like they're performing dramatic readings from the DMV. You ever see a woman just tune out a conversation so hard her soul has literally left her body? I have, in person too. Now, being quiet and mysterious only works if 1. You're rich, 2. You're insanely good looking, or 3. You're Batman. The rest of you, you just come off like some creep lurking in the produce aisle. And your theme song might as well be Every Breath You Take by the Police, just by behaving like that. Man, the only date you'll end up with is a judge and maybe a public defender if you're lucky at that point. Now, this is where the real magic kicks in. Social skills aren't some fuzzy, optional, nice-to-have quality of life items. These are actually the multiplier on everything else you already do in your everyday tasks in life. Career-wise, promotions don't go to the strongest anymore, or the most with merit. They go to the people who make other people feel like working with them won't be an absolute cycle in hell. Now dating? Women don't want a mute action figure. They want a man who can spark emotion, laughter, confidence, curiosity, heck, anything besides confusion and secondhand embarrassment. If you are just hot but awkwardly social, you might as well be the next Ken doll for Barbie. All look and no balls. Now, what about brotherhood? You want some solid friends who would help you move that refrigerator at midnight? Then you need to talk to people like they're actually human beings, not just give the "hey, what's up" nod like some background character in Grand Theft Auto that gets a handful of cookie cutter lines. Muscles will fade, the money will fluctuate, your hairline will probably disappear, but the ability to communicate, that sticks with you forever. You want to command the crew? A relationship? Then learn to talk like a king, not mumble like some village idiot. Now, let's address the obvious. A ton of men think they are socially competent, but reality says otherwise. The first barrier, you talk at people, not with them. You monologue like you're delivering the State of the Union address at the next presidential election, instead of having an actual conversation. The second barrier, everything is most likely negative. You ever meet someone where 90% of what they come out of their mouth is just complaints? Whining, grinding, bitching, and moaning? Yeah, no one wants to be around that person who's basically a black cloud. At that point, man, people might as well get you a box of extra absorbent tampons, because you're just being an absolute pussy about this. The third barrier, Zero sense of humor. You don't need to be a stand-up comic. Just stop taking yourself so seriously. If you can't laugh at your own mistakes, I assure you, everyone will, but they'll do it behind your back, with a little bit more smack talk worse than mine. Fourth barrier, no emotional calibration. You're just going stone cold silent to overshare and trauma in 60 seconds. Brother, you gotta pace yourself. This is not therapy. Save it for the people who are care by your money. Alright, here's the meat and potatoes of this whole damn lesson. 5 simple things to stop being a social disaster. The first step, listen more than you talk. Most people just want to feel heard. You shut up and listen, they think you're wise. You talk nonstop, they think you're just annoying. The second step, ask better questions. Don't hit people with the conversational equivalent of wet cardboard. Try questions like, what's something you're proud of lately? What projects are you working on currently? What's the funniest thing that's happened this week for you? Suddenly, you're not boring. You're memorable. The third step, just stop being a statue. You gotta move your face, move your hands, smile a damn little. You don't need to act and flail around like some of those TikTok zoomers on some of the illegal energy drinks. But at least just look alive and put some soul into yourself, into your speech and movement patterns. I assure you, it goes a long way. 4, you just need to speak clearly and own your space. No mumbling and no mouse voice. If you speak like you're apologizing for taking up that oxygen, no one's going to take you seriously. Guys, you gotta have a pair of balls, so you gotta talk like you actually dropped. Fifth step, practice with real people. Talking only to your buddies or your dog doesn't count. You need to get your reps in with total strangers, the cashiers, the co-workers that you don't associate with on a regular basis. Gym bros, baristas, security guard, whoever. You build this muscle the same way you build your biceps, with repetition, and a lot of them. Now, you can be strong, loyal, hardworking, honorable, but if you can't communicate, you're a socially jacked caveman swinging a club in the digital age. That's scary for you and me. Social skills turn opportunities into reality. They turn crushes into relationships, co-workers into allies, bosses into mentors, strangers into a network. Ignore them, you'll have a much weaker, much less talented man just crawling right past you into the life you should have had. You don't want to be Mr. Charisma entirely, but just upgrade yourself from that sketchy NPC to competent adult human being. The bar is so damn low out there, you can pretty much trip over it, and most likely it's on the floor. Build up those social skills and you'll build an empire. Ignore them and you'll stay stuck, frustrated, lonely, confused, wondering why your buddy with half the strength and brain cells has the girl, the job, the friends, and the opportunity you've desired. So do the work, get sharper, get social, and get dangerous in the right ways. Well, that's it, brothers. Like, comment, and subscribe. Or don't if you're too scared to even bother trying. I don't care either way. Just don't whine to me later when Mr. Smooth Talker steals your promotion and your girl in the same day, because he will, and it'll be because you let him. That's all for now, brothers. But before we go, remember this. 4 and 2, there is 1.